Now, a careless mistake exposed partial bank account information of every city employee in Newcastle.
It happened when a city worker responded to a right-to-know request about salaries. And while that information does not give people instant access to bank accounts, that error is still alarming. Channel 11's Jillian Hartman joins us live tonight in Newcastle with more on how the city now plans to keep this from happening again. Jillian.
Hey Lisa, so we exclusively learned that the city of Newcastle here by mistake released to the public partial bank information of hundreds of city employees, both past and present. And I found out how this happened and how the city plans to prevent this type of error from happening again.
It was certainly an error on our part that information did get out.
According to the Newcastle City Administrator, Chris Fry, the city got a right-to-know request from a resident for the salaries of city employees and retirees since 2021, which is public information. This includes police, fire, public works, and council members. However, in that report, the last 4 digits of the bank account for roughly 250 to 300 city employees was accidentally released too. Those living in this area say that's concerning.
If that little small thing could be leaked, then a lot of things in the world can be even more breached that we don't even know about as a community.
The city administrator says the resident who made the request posted that information on a public Facebook page, which has been taken down after the city found out what happened. He says they spoke with several local financial institutions and learned the information disclosed was not enough to place any bank account at risk for a breach.
We do regret that limited information did get disclosed. The 4 digits that it did contain was not enough to put anybody's bank accounts in jeopardy.
Fry says they have notified or are in the process of notifying everyone impacted. He tells me the city is working with its attorneys to better train its employees to redact information for future right-to-know requests and improve its internal procedures to avoid this situation.
But hopefully, they can actually secure it all down and we can't actually have all our information leaked out again.
Now, they plan to discuss this matter during tomorrow's city council meeting, and the city encourages anyone affected to reach out to their financial institutions and notify them of what happened. Reporting live tonight in Newcastle, I'm Jillian Hartman, Channel 11 News.